Hello there, sword friends. So even though I've been doing projects for a while, I mentioned I have this here Howard Clark sword that I was planning on fitting up. Now I had this really wunderbar idea where I would use these pretty Banff looking old fittings. Now I got this Suba some time ago from a buddy, old pal, and I got these Fuchi or Manuki, damn it. And as you might notice, they are swirly and Mitsudomi. So I had these. Now these are Edo period, presumably antiques, and I got this Koiguchi. No, not fuck Koiguchi. Fucking Kojiri. There's the Koiguchi, and there's the Fuchi and Kashira. There we go. And then I got a Kurigata. And then I can't remember ever what the fuck that thing is. There's the other Manuki. And you know, all in all, I got this this bag of things that looks like, you know, presumably it's probably going to look pretty good together. The downside is that it doesn't look very good together, mostly because if I take this fucking thing over here, if I take this Habaki and I line it up with the Fuchi, you can see that there's really not a lot of wiggle room there. That's going to be pretty tight. It's not going to work. It's not going to work very well. More than that, if I take the sword and I take this little Duaki Dubabber, which I totally know the name of because I'm a super smart sword guy, you can see it kind of fits, but you know, it does not really leave the desired amount of room, so to speak, for having a nice project. It seems a little snug, so to speak. So yeah, I'm saying a lot, but the point is I fucked up. I spent a bunch of money on this shit. God damn it. Doesn't come off here. I spent a bunch of money on this stuff, and it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. And so the point is that when you're buying sword parts, it's really, really good to think hard before you spend money, because otherwise you end up with a really badass sword and some shit that doesn't fit. And this is not the first time that this has happened to me. In fact, it's happened several times where I buy swords and parts and they don't fit together. And at this point, it's kind of a shame on me situation. I should know better than to do that, but I don't. And that's more of a cautionary tale that I thought I could share with you, in the sense that sometimes shit does not fit. You should not take for granted that if you go buy sword parts, that they're going to fit on the sword you have. There are some subtleties and magic that needs to happen and some tolerances that need to be met. If you are the person doing the sword fitting, then you probably understand what it's going to take to put together, or at least can conceptualize what needs to happen to make the sword fit together. If you're like me and you don't do anything with your hands because you're borderline useless as a human, then you should talk to the person that makes the sword stuff for you and ask them what kind of tolerances you need. See if you can paint a very accurate description of the actual sword like this and its measurements and all the important parts. Most people that assemble, create, or make saya or do sword mounting can pretty accurately say what the tolerances need to be, or what measurements they need to really accurately give you an idea of what you should look for. And then you have to look for them. Now, I thought I knew what those things were, and it turns out that I'm a dumb shit, because I measured this stuff from Hyper Cafe, and it is in fact the measurement that it says it is, but then I hold it up to this thing, and obviously it's just a little too snug to really work. So back to the drawing board for me. I thought I had a good plan, and I don't. Lesson you can learn from my shitty mistakes is measure twice and cut once, I guess, or at least measure twice and plan ahead for your project so you don't spend a bunch of damn money like I did and end up having to go back to the drawing board. Anyway, word to the wise, as always, cheers and thanks for watching.